All right, well, fresh off the birdie here on the 7th hole. We're heading to the 8th hole. And I'll take a little break here because I got to pay attention because it's kind of rocky terrain up here. My name is Steve Fredlund. I'm the Safari Dude. If you haven't been part of this series, I'm doing a little 9-hole disc golf course and sharing 9 different learnings I've had about myself and about life, and in hopes that it'll help other people and kind of clarify my own thoughts. I've been on this journey to happiness over the past, I suppose 15 years, really. The last 5 really. It's sort of been this growing chasm between my on-paper success and my actual heart happiness, and it's been kind of a widening gap. And so I've been trying to address that and learning along the way. And the thing I want to talk about today is I'm in the process of writing a book. And I tell you what, this has been the most clarifying thing. A lot of the stuff that I'm sharing with you during these videos and other things is a result of forcing myself to try to write the book and try to understand why was I not happy? Why was I happy before? What happened to make me not happy? Why am I struggling with happiness now, even though my life is so good? Why am I pretending I'm happy when I'm really not? And how can I become happier? And writing this book has been critical in me trying to figure this whole thing out. And so I want to encourage you. I don't know. I'm not a writer. I'm not a reader. My wife reads more books in 1 month than I've read probably my entire life. And that includes high school, when I used to fake reading them and then get copy the papers off of Mark Shepard. I just do not like reading. I'll read when I have to, but I just don't like it. And I'm not a writer. And my editor is probably like, dude, come on. I'm doing the best I can. So a lot of times I just sort of record my thoughts. I have my one of the people that helped me in the business transcribe that and start making a first draft, and then I kind of work with that because I'm not good at the writing process. But I've learned a lot through that as I've kind of been forced by my editor and other people to challenge me and say, what is that? What actually caused that? And so what I found is that writing has been a phenomenal way for me to get my words out, to get my thoughts out, to get everything clarified, to be challenged. And maybe that's something for you guys to consider as well. I know a lot of people journal. My wife does a journal. She also does a gratitude thing where she keeps track of things that she's really enjoyed in her life, and then she can go back and kind of recount those things. But writing has been this amazing cathartic experience for me. In some ways depressing, in some ways invigorating, but overall I can tell it's helping me, and it's going to help me going forward. And hopefully the result of this is going to help other people as well, because the crux of the book is really about how I've tried so hard to do the right thing my whole life. And part of that is from the previous videos where I've sought external validation. I've sought the affirmation of other people. I've struggled with that and just really wanting that. And so I've tried really hard to do things the right way. And it didn't result in happiness. It resulted in a good life on paper, but just not really happy. And so writing has kind of forced me to recount some of those stories, some of the stories that I'd forgotten, some of the experiences that I've forgotten. And it's really been a way to, I guess, uncover and to dig and to find the reality of the truths behind what I think are the truths, to get deeper. And so I want to encourage you that maybe is a good practice for you, whether you're going to actually write a book or not, to start thinking about writing a book and writing out your thoughts and challenging yourself and go deeper and deeper and keep asking that next question, like Simon Sinek, I believe it is, sort of, start with why, and ask the 7 why questions and keep digging and digging and try to find that root cause of what's really going on in your world. So whether it's writing or whether it's some other outlet, my encouragement to you is to really learn about yourself. I think one of the things I thought I knew was myself. I knew I was an INTP on the Myers-Briggs. I knew I was a 5 on the Enneagram. I knew my strengths finders were learner, relator, strategic, self-assurance. I knew these labels that I had for myself, but I didn't really know myself. And I think the reality is we are much more complicated, much more complex than a series of labels. Don't get me wrong, I think those labels are helpful. They help explain some certain things about us. But at the end of the day, I think we really need to do that hard work of figuring out what really does make us tick. Like what really does make us happy? What really does make us sad? What really makes us excited? Who are the kind of people we want around us? What do we really want from our life? And I think we can only do that by being intentional. And I think we can only be intentional by finding that medium that really speaks to us. And for me, that medium has been writing, and I didn't know it. I wish I would have knew it a long time ago. So here we are. We've arrived on the 8th hole. I'll spin around. This has been sort of my nemesis hole for a while because it's not that long. Again, let me see. It's long-ish. It's 323 feet. It's a par 3. It's the hardest hole in the course, I think, for me. But the big issue is that if I throw it hard, I end up in those trees over there. So I ended up throwing it just like 100 feet or 90 feet just to get it past that first tree, and then try to throw, 230, 240 to get it to the pin. And that's just been sort of hard. And then I was out here with Jeff the other day, and he starts doing this S-curve thing, distance, starting on the left side and then curving it back around to the right and having it fade back into the fairway. And even if it doesn't fade back into the fairway, the right side is actually fine if you get far enough. So that was sort of this new trick. And I'm like, this is why you have the right peeps in your Jeep, because he had an idea. He had a creative thought around how to attack this hole that I didn't have. And I tried it and I love it. So I'm going to try that here again today. I'm going to try it. I'm probably going to make a fool of myself, but if it works, I'll be a genius. So thanks, Jeff, for the idea, either because it worked out great or you got me in big trouble. But this is the 8th hole here in western Wisconsin as I'm playing and sharing some thoughts. I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is unless you reach out to me directly, because it's sort of like my favorite fishing hole. I don't really want to tell anybody about it, but it's a beautiful course. Nobody's out here. And so I'm going to attack this. But as of right now, I am 1 under through 7 holes. I think my personal record is 2 under here, but usually I'm like 2 over, 3 over, somewhere in there. So I'm playing great. Thanks to you. I guess the accountability of all of you guys. So let's give this thing a shot, see how it goes. I see a butterfly over there. I'm going to try to capture a video of that as well before I throw. Well, let's see. That did not really, it wasn't bad, I don't think. It didn't S out the way I wanted it to. Like it went left to right like it was supposed to, but I threw it a little sharp. So if I throw a little bit flatter, it gives it a chance to come back, but it never really had a chance to come back. So it just kept going right. But let me flip the camera around and see where it is. So, but the key is just getting it past this first clump of trees. So up here should be fine. So as long as I missed the stuff on the left and got it this far, I think it went this far. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Now I just got to try to find it. The fun part of disc golf, especially when you're alone, is trying to find your discs. But if you can keep it, oh, there it is. If you can keep it generally in the fairway, it makes it a little bit easier. And they do a nice job here of cutting grass out. Well, the good news is I'm here. I'm not in a terrible spot, and I can actually see the pin through there. But I've got this bush right in front of me, and if you can't tell, it's about chest high. I think if I can stand here, if I stand like right here, I think I can get it up over this branch here, and there's my path. If I can get it through there, kind of fade it back to the left, I should be okay. So let's, not sure where I can set the camera up. I don't have a tripod. Well, I think that worked out pretty good. Hopefully you had a view from the fairway there. It should have come bouncing in there. We'll check it out later, but I think it turned out really good. I think we're within 5 or 10 feet. Let's hope so. Let's flip it around and let's see. All right, so here we come up the gut here. This is where you're always kind of looking to see, come on, baby, one time, where are you? Come on, I hope you're there. Yeah, there it is. Park City, man, Park City. Right next to the hole. So we just set our bag down. We don't even set our bag down. Usually we switch discs, grab the putter, set the bag down. I'm just gonna stand behind it. And let's just throw this left-handed. It's so nice and close. Oh geez, I almost missed it. Par, we'll take it.